Okay.
Nonetheless, London Royals versus Minnesota Floppers. What a game we're gonna have ahead of us, and it's gonna be interesting indeed. As again, we start things off on your favorite map, Scav, and this will be Subline.
I'm not gonna lie, Hyper on sub base, yeah, it was my favorite map for quite some time. Then I played it in ranked. Never mind. It's not my favorite map anymore. But it is a good map to play on, just given the fact that it's not commonly used as a map 1, and the fact that CRL is able to kind of just take this and boldly kind of shove it in the faces of all these teams that aren't really able to decide what that first map is going to stretch them. And Hyper, I think it's going to stretch them for the better, because a lot of the times these teams, well, they're pre-made teams at that, so a lot of these teams have experience playing together in other leagues as well. And if you're not able to take on a beast like sub base as your map 1, then you're going to have a lot of trouble down the line for people who are. And right off the bat, London Royal and Minnesota won't really establish too much control on the P1. As we rotate on over to P2, it's almost virtually the same on terms of the scoreline.
Yeah, not really much you can say. You can see that Minnesota have got that early advantage in terms of control over to P2, spawns favoring them as well. But if you're Zeus, you have the mighty power of thunder and of lightning, and he will use his might to do his work and his bidding. At that, as he'll find 2, and that will be enough for him for today.
Yep, 100%. All red onto the point, and Blood Shatter will blend right into the colors of London Royals as Minnesota try to work a route and sort of shrug their shoulders, it seems like, and work their way on over to P3, but AT will go ahead and try to catch some off from spawn. Top server is wide open. So, we'll take advantage of that, taking out Zeus in the process. He'll finally fall, but AT go ahead and sit back crates here for quite some time, trying to catch out some of those late rotations as London Royal looking to strengthen their lead.
Yeah, they got to strengthen that lead, got to put a bit more pressure on Minnesota. If you keep the scoreline as close as this, it could go either way, and I tell you what, KP's just sitting on the edge, eating up the points as much as he can, but he needs to be careful because look at that. Slowly creeping his way across, will get taken out. But Export will say thank you very much. That's an easy kill for himself. Retakes the position of where KP was. And he extends out into the middle. It's gonna work for 1. Can it work for number 2? Yes, it does. A headshot at that. And London Royals, oh, they are being royal at sub base.
Oh, yeah. So drag out the red carpet for them, because right now they're playing like kings and queens on the map. 10 seconds of scraps will easily favor London. Spawns, though, are not in their favor. So they're tasked with getting spawns in their favor. They haven't really been brought to this point yet. So whether or not if they can get those spawns in their favor is the ultimate testament now to see how the rest of this series will go. And right off the bat, AT, go ahead and get a kill on KP as well. Battle of 2-letter names will ensue. And Export will go ahead and capitalize on Zeus's pick off of Zoe, all right into the feed. But Bionic will try to make a statement and end all this mayhem.
And he will try his best, but it's still going to turn red, and the blood of the London Royals will come to the floor. The red coats, ready and strong, and they're not going to allow a single other color to step foot again. And London are starting to really enforce that lead, 115 to 32. That's a monstrosity of a lead. And they're also starting to get that eye, start to send an oomph to go and have a little sniff. Get ready for P5.
P5 is on the awakening. Starting to wake up here, just as Minnesota hopefully will. And there it is. Time is ticking. Now, starting to get a little concerned as well, just by looking at how large this gap is starting to stretch. Zeus, go ahead and get the ball rolling once again for the boys in red. He'll find one, not the second. KP and Bandit will go ahead and capitalize on that trade, but AT from behind smirking as he holds that MCW tightly in hand, shooting hot lead, hotter than ever as he keeps destroying, getting those kills. Eventually, he'll be traded out, but it's too late. London Royals have spawns in their favor, but Bionic Bandit will have something to say and make it known as shots will ring across the map as he gets the 2-piece to his name, but nevertheless, hasn't left much less than a dent as London Royals will keep on with their domination.
Anumph on a 3 streak as well. Keep an eye out on him. He's on fire as At also gets a double to his name. So is Export. The streak's really forming if you're London. Anumph finds 4, 2 away from a cruise, and that will be end game if you're Minnesota. So you've got to be also careful as they are preparing themselves for the onslaught that is going to come to P1. 1 away for Anumph. And Anumph will want this last kill, but he will fall denied. And Minnesota's nipped it in the butt exactly where it wants it.
Well, at least it's a little bit of a breath of fresh air, Hyper. Now you've taken care of the fact that you could very well get exploded right in the face by a fat rocket. With 37 seconds left in counting, Minnesota still has many more obstacles to overcome. And right now, Anumph will get right back to where he was, frying with the assistance of AT. This dynamic duo certainly is one to not be reckoned with at all. There goes the wallbang again for Anumph. Cross map, Bionic trying to get something going. The ball is rolling. Shots will hit on both sides of the spectrum. Zoe will pick up the trade. And finally, Control will resort back to the boys in purple. But, well, Hyper, all red have infiltrated their spawns. And that being said, Zeus will be the first one to get things done from Secret. He'll try to get traded out, and he does it. Buddha is really need to hold this position here, because it could be the deciding factor of the control of the point.
It's Buddha holding the point. He's got to be careful. KP will save his rear end, and he's probably thinking, I dodged more than a bullet here, as Bionic will find the easy frag, and slowly Minnesota is finding that rhythm. It's still got membership to the 100-point club. Trust me, it's not as fancy as you think. It's one of the worst clubs you can ever be in, and they are still not able to escape that membership. It's a really hard invoke if you want to get it done. They get on point. 83, 84 as it increased up, but Export jumps in. 5 spree for his Buddha, and he's 1 away to get this done and dusted. And just when we think a streak's coming, it will fall.
London Royals have spawn, Hyper. They don't need to break anything. They can just sit back, relax, and start sipping on the taste of what could very well be a nice and easy victory on map 1. Export, he'll get the first shots ringing on through as he finds one. KP, the trade will go through. Buddha, baby, will get a second as well to his name, but Zeus will arise from the water. It's a little ironic for your name, isn't it? He'll get a kill, but eventually he'll get traded out again as well. Time is ticking. Feed is still red. And finally, seems to be what looks to be a break will start to come through, but no. AT looking to shut that down.
Minnesota on a 3 streak.
Buddha.
It's Buddha again on a 5 streak. 1 away from getting the beautiful cruise missile. And Minnesota 2-1. No 100-point club for them. They're out of the club and they're going to dine. Nice and great this time. But it's London Royale. They have the rotations all in their favor. And still, it's Buddha cannot get a single cruise missile. That's the second time he's had a 5 streak and he's been denied. London are not giving up.
Go ahead and take a pair of scissors and cut that membership card right in half, and perhaps even cut the lead in half if Bionic's able to get that kill, but no, he's not able to. Buddha will continue on his madness spree of almost 2 KD. He'll fall as well. KP employing the same strategy that you suggested, Hyper, in our game 1, and swimming right into the water, but that stun is gonna go through there for a second. I think he might have been caught out, but the Renetti's gonna get whipped out. He's looking at the ladder, waiting for the right time to pop, but Zeus will be sitting from their back spawn as well to try to get something done. KP will use that opening to create himself a nice seat right onto the point, and he won't be phased at all, Hyper. He got shot twice. Zeus and AT will fall right to the ground.
I'm having deja vu here, Scav. I'm having deja vu. What did we see last game? It was the comeback story. Minnesota is on fire and they are wanting to play games. They are, though, a little lackluster on the next rotation, so they do have to be careful here because this game could end very quickly. Export jumps onto point. It could be 1 here from London, and in doing so, the rotation finally comes in from Minnesota, and player strength enforces. They're going to come from both sides, so they might need to be careful if you're London. They just might have spotted it.
So watch your back. This is not a gunfight to be lost. You need to control that top window, but he's not able to. Zeus, again, from the skies, jumping up and down like a rabbit. We'll go ahead and put him to rest. Buddha will get that trade again. There's 1 and 2 headshots for Buddha. AT with a headshot to his face, giving him a taste of his own medicine. But meanwhile, Bionic get a cruise, not a cruise, excuse me, a trophy system right onto the point. And London Royale will be able to take back what was rightfully theirs to begin with, but not before there was any recoil shown from the Floppr.
Minnesota, they know they have to defend P1 with all their life. They are leaving fine margins now. Essentially, they can't lose a single second, and already the feed is red. 10 seconds is all London needs to claim it like they did in the Euros, to claim it into the next round, to go into map 2 with a victory. It's gonna be London Royal Ravens. London Royals with cheese.
Hey, I know. I mean, I know some. Hyper. Hey, I'm not judging. I know sometimes that what we see right now could feel that of the energy and excitement of the CDL. If not, sometimes a little more exciting. But gotta tone it down a little bit.
Minnesota Floppers versus London Royals as we are going into the search and destroy on Karachi. And what a battle it was to start things off. London Royal getting the win, but Scabby, this is gonna be interesting indeed.
Oh yeah, 100%. And the Royals came in hot. They didn't really stop either. They had almost a 100-point lead at the end of the map, but Minnesota is employing the exact same strategy that I was suggesting earlier, and that's playing for picks, playing for mistakes, and playing for information. That's exactly what they do. Hello? Perhaps a near open A bomb site? Thank you very much is what he might say, but not before a number will go ahead and check from top red. But the trade will go through in the process. Bionic was waiting for that to happen and seized the moment.
And in doing so, it's going to cause a mass rotation, a mass kerfuffle, as AT will say thank you very much. Finds 1, finds 2, says gets a bit more picks coming into his favor. KP left alive against 2, bombed down in a very awkward position.
Oh yeah.
He needs to be careful with every door he opens up and where he runs.
London Royals going ahead, keeping up the pace exactly where they were going. Minnesota had a fantastic rotation out of the A-bomb site, as clear as day, open. The exception of top red, top window. And just like that, London Royal was able to adjust effectively, efficiently, and they were just there, Hyper. They were there at the right place at the right time and didn't miss a single bullet. They know how much ammo costs. They don't want to be wasting anything right now.
Do you know the economics of ammo?
Well, I don't know. Isn't there like an economy in CS or something? Like, isn't that your specialty about ammo and bullets and all that?
No, it's for the weapons themselves. That's a completely different story. But enough about the cost of an AK-47. We're going to be talking about the cost of a life, as Zeno is going to fall, and that's going to allow a lot of can of worms to open up, as London Royal still has the man advantage, as they will go down for the plant, and in doing so, AT in a prime position here. If he goes a little faster, might be able to sort out the last 2 of the Minnesota Floppr.
There we go. Well, they already know where he is, and top bridge and top palm tree control is, like I said from the last series, absolutely unstoppable. Buddha will say, no, know your place. That's 10 feet in the ground as AT is put to rest, and he says, over across the map, export, you're next, so don't you dare peek me for yet another second. The head glitches, the head glitch, excuse me, will continue to overpower at this point in time, and KP will find a 1v1 situation, 7.5 to defuse in that cubby. Will he sit? And at the last moment, London Royals will jump right out of the cubby, take care of business, and won't let time do the rest.
I think if he hadn't have got stuck on the wall, on the bridge going down, I do honestly believe AP would have had that opportunity to maybe win the gunfight, maybe have gone get just in time for a bomb defuse, but KP just, it's unfortunate to see when you get stuck by the environment around you.
We're going into round number 3. Balls in the court of Minnesota. They had an A open site, but they failed to capitalize on it. We'll see. They'll roll the dice this time and see if they can try it. But this time, a rush onto A will ensue. AT waiting on the other side of bottom red, waiting for that door to bust open. And if you got some brains, Minnesota, you wouldn't be touching it with a 10-foot pole, at least until you slide it open. That's exactly what he does. AT will see the first go right in front of him. Not the humiliation situation. Don't do it to him. Okay, you'll let him at least live with his dignity for quite some time, but the bomb has been dropped. So there goes the comms. Will ensue next. Bandit will go ahead and capitalize from top red and fire out of that. 2v3 situation, but they got plenty of time, Hyper, to capitalize on this. And just as I say that, well, there goes the round.
I love how AT really used a lot of the trigger discipline. He could have made the kill off the get-go, but instead he looked around. Was there a second pick he could do? Because he will have the knowledge advantage that he'd be able to shoot the second person if they were there and
Avoiding
flip
trade.
back. But
Right.
instead, he just took advantage of the single player. I really wanted an assassination just for insult to injury.
Oh my gosh, Hyper. You are a cold soul at that, but I mean I couldn't agree with you more. At least it would be a little more entertaining to say, and at least that'll give Minnesota something a little more motivating maybe to get themselves right back into it. But nevertheless, it is search and destroy. Okay, 3 more rounds have to be won for London to take this map home. So some hope could be restored, but it'll take a lot for that to happen. But AT will go ahead and lead the charge with the first pick.
That's going to be a man advantage London again. 2v4 now as KP will also fall down to is Buddha versus Zoe. That's going to be it. We know what Buddha can do. We know what he's capable of. He's got information. Again, trigger discipline. Gonna work a massive treat. He might be able to get for
No.
the Ninja the Fuse.
Don't do it to
Coming
him.
in. You are a genius, Buddha.
Don't do it to
No.
him.
Check the bomb. If you're
No.
London, check the bomb.
No.
It's gonna be checked. Oh no. I feel the pain so much. I've been in that position as a prolific ninja diffuser myself. You always check the bomb.
Darn it. That's all I can say at that. To be honest with you, I was really hoping the bomb could have been ninja diffused there, because that would have been 10 times more exciting. But can you blame the guy, Hyper? Can you at least blame him for trying? But London Royals, again, they're going to say, no, 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 do not slap me with what you might see in lower divisions, because that's not who we are, and we've learned from our mistakes in the past. As they'll go ahead and trudge along in this little parade that they've had. 4 straight rounds to their name. Minnesota not even able to let a dent. And that ninja diffuse would have been a great place to start.
I really wanted it. I wanted it so much. I'm still working out where I would ninja diffuse on this map. But in doing so, again, a man advantage will go in favor of London Royals. 3v1. Cruz invested. That was by a numph, as he got a 6-piece going on his side. And he's still got the streak in favor. Be careful. AT also 2 away from taking a cruise missile. Oh, I spoke a little too soon, so we'll take him out. And now it's down to a 1v2. Zeus and a numph left alive. Trying to search for this missing Zoe. And he's got all of A to play with, but with 30 seconds left, he isn't rushing too much here.
So you got a smile in your face in your gamer tag. So hopefully if you're able to clutch this 1v2, you'll restore the smile from the faces of Minnesota as they're staring down a 4-zip deficit at this point in time. But from top bridge, they will go. And from behind the back, they'll try. But oh my gosh, Hyper London Royals is too hot to even allow something like that to happen.
And I've had Vindaloo, but this is something else. This
Oh
is
my
the crack of
gosh.
thunder. This is the crack of thunder. The Zeus will impale onto you.
Oh my.
I am Zeus. Give me the mercy.
Brother, that was disgusting. Oh my. We're seeing a bloodbath right now. And the blood is coated in red. London Royal with cheese, mind you. We'll go ahead and keep trudging along. Shovel it off. I'm not even going to continue that sentence, but Minnesota...
Don't you make another pun. Don't you make another pun. They're bad enough as they are. At least mine are smooth. And enough will put the bomb down and will continue the damage that's going to be... KP was hiding in the corner. There's finally some hope for Minnesota. Down to export. 2B left to clutch up the round. And this is a dangerous position to be in. He gives away his position. And in a 3v1,
What?
make it a 2v1. How do you win that? They sport. He's going for a dream.
Oh, he's going for a dream, and he's overchawing too. You can easily tell he left his back completely exposed right now. He's just trying to put to the test and really see how much they can keep digging the hole in Minnesota's grave. But Zoe will say not by much as they'll finish off that final kill. But like you said earlier, Hyper, this is only the first step in what seems to be miles and miles of rounds to be completed to complete this reverse sweep.
Yeah, you've got a lot of work. You basically have to go flawless and not drop anything. Because match point is in favor of London Royals. I know, stating the obvious, Hyper. we know. We know. We know. But you have to understand that early death from its Buddha and Bionic not going to help the case. Down to Zoe and KP. Two-letter team is trying to stay alive. KP is left alive now. And it gets 10 times worse, and the dream, the hope that Scav was wanting will not come through unless KP can perform the masterclass and the play of his career. Bullets will fly from the left, and London Royals will win it.
We'll keep going on. 1-6. A depressing feat that Minnesota has been faced with at this point in time. You thought that they had a chance, but just when they did, you had someone like Zeus. You had someone like a Nump this up.
Well, it all depends on how they attack. Because if they're going as they are, they're going to go for... If they're going to attack aggressively, then you've got to be able to counter it with the same amount of aggression. You've got to match what comes forward. And already off the get-go, London are demonstrating their skills. They've got 2 people on point. First tick already completed. And they are going for the full sweep. 3 on point. Really speeding this up. Getting this job done and dusted. And in doing so,
AT from behind.
A complete. And that's the start the London Royals want. And if you're Minnesota... that is not good for them.
With P's, they'll say, as Zeus will get a 2-piece to his name, Buddha and KP. Try to chow him. He takes them both down. And London Royals, well, they've been sent to the respawn lobbies after they got killed off of A. And so far, at least Minnesota's been able to persist out of that. But AT is stuck right in, try to make an opening, but it's quickly been closed. And it seems like now Minnesota at least has found a little bit of their footing. They're still lacking the lives as well. So, Zoe, you chawing from tank with the rival 9 can be a little promising. You just got to be really careful because that range is not nearly as powerful as the MCW.
No, it's not nowhere near as powerful. Nowhere near as powerful. But they've got to now find a way to break this really solid position from Minnesota. They have locked down the entirety of that B site, playing the bus method, but on a B site, which is not as commonly seen. Because normally at this point, Minnesota would have pushed up and try and claim spawn traps. They are half doing it, but not to the same degree as finally enough. A Nymph will get onto point, gets a little progression going. Not enough to really warrant a full challenge.
Not at all. And AT will seek out Bandit from behind. You gotta have a sixth sense to do it, Hyper, because there it is. He'll continue on. MCW's flying, echoing, screeching the ears of Minnesota as they know them all too well at this point in time. And Nump and Zoof holding hands right onto the point will finish that last tick. And there goes round number 2. Map point and series points for the boys in red.
Well, a little too early for series point. You
Oh,
still got another,
yeah, you're right. I missed that. You missed that. I
and
missed
you called me patriotic. Jesus Christ! I think you're switching allegiance from America.
No,
to UK.
no, I am no, I am not. You know what, Hyper? You know what, Hyper? LeBron makes mistakes. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, London Royal gets the attacking round into their favor, a rarity that comes around on Invasion. If I was gonna rank the 3 control maps, Invasion's the hardest to win attack. And that is a statement to say is Minnesota is gonna try and do exactly what London did. Well, try was the key word, as Export is on a 5 streak.
Hey, I mean, they can still try, though, as long as they get Export out. There goes all 4 Hyper. They're flooding right through from the middle of the map, and the street sits Zeus. He'll get 2 to his name again. This man is on a streak. He's nasty right now at that, but finally be put to rest. Not before that first A tick was taken, but Hyper, I mean, my goodness gracious, if you're Minnesota, you've been outgunned this whole map. You'd think that they'd go towards B first, given how much easier it's, to take. But now they've sort of resorted to that, and you got to wonder with Explorer going through and running these spawns if it's been a little too late.
I tell you what, with Zeus on fire, he is shocking at what he can do. You're welcome. Here all day. As it is, Sputter is going to try and get a little feed to come into his way. 3-piece to his name. And with good progression, good timing coming from Minnesota, this is good for B. And this will allow them 2 minutes. They just need to make sure they complete it. If they are in the danger zone, it's going to get contested. It's done. We can relax if you're Minnesota. 2 minutes to play. But you have to deal with 18.
Whoa, hey there, Buddha. What a turn on from that back tank. Holy mackerel. But yes, Hyper, I guess you are kind of right in saying that they can relax. But they only got about a minute 43 to do so. Because in a moment's time, they could very well be staring down the barrel of a sweep if they don't. So 15 to 15, both lives pretty darn even. So much is to be said about how this can go. But AT will slap one right into the face before he's eventually taken out, followed by that headshot there at that. So Numph and Export, go ahead. Teamwork makes the dream work. 2 on the respawns for Minnesota, as the rest will try to flood through courtyard. Unsuccessful. Dark, go ahead and chow. That's Buddha right there. Your favorite Hyper. We'll go ahead and find a second with the Renetti.
Well, it's Sputter. He's going to love the Renetti indeed, but AT kills him from the back. That's just cold to do it. And Zeus is now preparing the spawn trap, filling up the blender with a load of bodies and milking out the blood because he wants it all. He is the god. He is the king. He will slay who he wants as he keeps them all inside the embassy. Minnesota can't do anything except watching the clock run down. 3 lives remaining for Minnesota, and this looks to be all and done.
That was huge for Extort to be killed off because he right away could have gotten a nice 2-piece to put this thing to rest. But a 1v8 will ensue, and the rest is history as London Royals now map point and series point.
Game, set, and match. All there and waiting. You just need one good attack. One good attack, and that's all it is.
That's all you need. And for Minnesota, that's all you could ask for at this point. Just one good defending round. Just something. A redemption. A cry for help has been made. A call to action has been placed onto Minnesota this whole series, and we've seen it slowly but surely squish them. Now it all boiled down to this A push. There it goes. Buddha picked up the first one. KP, the second one at that. Piggybacking on this momentum. Zeus will find one. Export will find the second. And Zeus, that's 3 off. Buddha will stay alive. He's stubborn as ever. Will go through. Ring around the rosy onto the point. But he's not able to do much as Extort will continue to stay on the point and rain with a bullet. Reinforcements have arrived.
And the reinforcements are going to very quickly try and get on point, not allow any of Minnesota to get there, but the feed just goes purple. And while that's happening, AT is going to start that progression onto the B site. Got 1 tick done. Reinforcements comes in. It's Buddha hiding in the corner, not able to do anything with it. Feed turns red again as the blood of their enemies pour onto the floor. And the redcoats keep themselves alive.
There goes a tick. A moment's time, Minnesota. You gotta chalk it at this point in time. There goes the final tick. It's only worth it if you get the kill, but Zeus is made Buddha to pay, and Zoe will do the same thing. My goodness. The dynamic duo strikes again, as now they lead in lives, even on the offensive. Export again. Got to Numph back. The chemistry is there. The mechanics are going through. Minnesota is starting to panic. And a Numph will continue on and reigning in his streak before eventually Buddha will put him to rest, but never to fear. Export has got his back from mid-map.
They're always got an angle and always got a play. They're trying to put the pressure onto the gas station over there, and it's not going to work out for Zeus. It is going to work out for Zeus. A 5 streak is in his favor, and somehow the man has just got the angles and got the shots there and waiting. 6 in the back pocket of Zeus, and he can call from the gods above to give him support. And AT, look at him as he's spawning around the back. He's got a great position. Now he's going to flip the spawns to go north. If any more kills come in,
Ooh.
he gets a little aggressive. And then MWIII and his spotter is going to be on point, ready and waiting for what London throws at them.
This is good, Hyper. This is exactly what you want to see right now. 9 lives v 11. Minnesota was down in the lives by a decent amount against London earlier on in this round, but now they're not. Now they're not anymore. Export from behind, looking to become a menace. If they can kill him and keep the trap on, it will be done and dusted, but it's not. Export will continue on his reign. Zoe, I'm sure, shaking by the hairs on their chin, waiting for the opportunity to go through, pull out the rival 9 because they know hell's about to hang loose pretty soon. But it's not going to be in the form of AT. It's got Extort's name on it. And AT will continue on bringing the pain as MWIII will save the day. Get that timer going. London Royale forced to look up at the clock with lives not in their name. Zeus will get the nice headshot onto one. Not able to find the second, but enough. Again, these players got each other's backs, so they'll get the trade with 9 seconds left. Buddha will get taken out. The change maker in this round has been put to rest, and Export will sit themselves right onto the point. All 3 purple will surround him in a second. He can't do anything. A 1v3, and there goes the first round win from Minnesota.
Tell you what, I made a prediction earlier this was going to be a 3-0. It's 2-1 at the moment. Minnesota has to win the attacking round. And that's a hard ask. I told you how difficult it is to attack on this map, and this is a reason why. It is almost, well, I wouldn't say as far as impossible, but it puts a lot of effort, a lot of strain. And you have to remember, Zeus, cruise missile back pocket, can deploy it whenever he wants. I think Export has it as
Confidence is there. There's the confidence, Hyper. They went for that A push. The confidence is there. But Zeus and Numph are not fazed by what happened last round because they'll take out 3. Export. Pumping onto the point. They'll clean up. Shop done, dirty, dusted like it was nothing. AT tasked by himself to get on B. He'll be taken out of the process. Purple will get some time on to B.
They need to get as much time. They need to get this cleared with 1:14 on the clock. It has been paused. Cruise coming in. You can hear it from the air. Not going to connect with anybody, but it will push them off point temporarily enough. Will get 2. He's now forming a streak of 4. There's 5. Can he find 6? And another cruise missile would be super dangerous at this point. He denied. Just denied. 5 kills only, but look at Zeus. He's by Embassy. He's waiting for the spawns. He's allowing his team to manifest, get the kills, but he can see the feed's not going in his favor. Backs up, and he will fall as well. And this is looking good for Minnesota. 2 minutes on the clock as it gets added. This is getting all too interesting.
It is getting all too interesting, Hyper, but London does have 2 lives to leverage, and those 2 lives could be the difference maker of this round. You gotta go. You gotta go. Yes, 1:43, but you gotta go and try to get this done while you already have the momentum going. Bionic Rab will pick up that from KP, and from behind, Export will not allow the spawns to be had through the back anymore. AT will do the complete opposite. There was 2 to his name. You're looking to find a 3. There it is. From tank, he is dominating. KP has no idea where he is. The shots are gonna go through. He'll finish it. Done. And Bionic Bandit will go ahead and get on a 2 streak out of my spawns. He says, I have a round to win.
There's a lot of work. You really need to make sure you get out of those spawns. The Embassy is not where you want to sit. But in doing so, London Royals keep pushing up every second they can, every opportunity, every kill. They make sure that Minnesota has to run extra far, but the break has opened up. Now Minnesota has an opportunity to get some time on point. They need an attack to keep it going, and they are keeping it alive. 2 on point. First tick completed, but a spray going through. Zeus has found him through the chairs. Bionic left alive. Now the progression is so slow. KP from afar, Zoe from afar, and it will be pushed off. And finally, the zone's opened up. The feed will go red, even with the team kill. 45 seconds. There's still time.
There's still time to be made, but Hyper, it's all flooded. The floodgates have opened. All red are back onto the map, and blue and purple is still trying to hit their respawns. Bionic again, opening up as he does Beth with a 2-piece, but just like that, the answer is there. Export will also enter with a 2-piece to his name, and with 2 lives left, it'll take a miracle. 26 seconds left in counting. They're spread out across the map. Buddha, the last alive, the game changer, the difference maker, will face enough. And London Royals have completed the sweep.
They come in, they put a statement out on the first map on Hardpoint. They go 6-1 on the S&D.